have a look at this phylum. To begin with, the name Annelida comes from the Latin word annelus, which means little rings. So these organisms have rings all over their body from the beginning to the end. Each segment has a set of organs on the inner side. These organisms have quite developed systems compared to the previous ones. Annelids usually have a cylindrical and triploblastic body, which originates from all the three embryonic layers. That is the endoderm, mesoderm, and the ectoderm. The body encloses a true body cavity, that's the coelom. This makes the annelids coelomates. The true body cavity has the organs inside it. These organs can be located from the segment number in the annelids. Annelids usually have a well-evolved mouth with a few mouth parts. The digestive system is also very well developed in most of them. Excretion is taken care of by specialized cells. These can either be metanephridia or in some cases they can be protonephridia. The respiratory system, on the other hand, is not that well developed. In most of the cases, exchange of gases occurs via the skin or simply the cuticle through diffusion. In other cases, the exchange occurs via gills located in a few segments near the anterior end. Do you think annelids have a well-evolved nervous system? Annelids do not have a superbrain like us, but they do have a few ganglia, that is, a collection of neurons that form rings. These act as the decision makers for all the systems and bring about the necessary coordination. Now comes the reproductive system. Annelids have several sexes. So usually there is a sexual reproduction, which is the preferred method. The fertilization is mostly external. Some annelids occasionally opt for asexual reproduction as well. These are usually the lower members of the family with a less complex body. Where do you think annelids are found? Many of them dwell on land, but a bulk of subphylum also inhabit marine habitation. Can we come up with some examples of this phylum? Earthworms, leeches, sandworms or lungworms, and so many others. Now, wasn't this phylum interesting? Till now, we've taken a look at all these phyla, which belong to the category of non-chordates. Now let's proceed ahead and have a look at the remaining ones. Looking at the spider weaving its web, I sometimes wonder, what if we humans crawl like these creatures? Well, that's not possible for us in any case. That is because these organisms, like the spider, cockroaches, and insects like ants or beetles, have a special adaptation for their cursorial living. This is nothing but running quickly even on a vertical surface. The adaptation is seen in their legs. These group of animals have specialized joint appendages. This feature helps us classify these animals under the next phylum, that is the Arthropoda. What are these arthropods? And why are they named so? Well, the name Arthropoda comes from two Greek words, arthron meaning joint and pos meaning feet or appendages. So these organisms have joint feet. Yes, that's exactly what their specialty is. The phylum Arthropoda is the largest known phylum on Earth. That means the phylum has the largest number of animals present as compared to any other phylum. So we can say that these animals truly dominate the planet. Arthropods are triploblastic and coelomate organisms. That is, their body is developed from three germ layers, endoderm, mesoderm, and ectoderm. And the body even has a true body cavity. Now the body plan of these organisms is quite simple. They all have three major divisions of their body: head, thorax, and the abdomen. The complete body has segments which help us locate the various internal organs. The head region usually has a pair of compound eyes and antennae. Most cases have a well-developed mouth with parts that help in biting, tearing, chewing, and swallowing. Some forms, however, rely on proboscis that only help in sucking fluids like fruit nectar or blood. The thorax and the abdomen contain important vital organs and the joint appendages. structures like the nephridia, which help in eliminating the nitrogenous waste out of the body. Now comes the nervous system. Do you think arthropods have a well-defined nervous system? Well, even these invertebrates have clusters of neurons, simply called the ganglions, which act as major regulators in the nervous system. What about reproduction then? Most of the arthropods have separate sexes. That clearly tells us that these prefer sexual reproduction. Arthropods prefer internal fertilization, but some exceptions are seen here as well. Arthropods exhibit a unique characteristic of molting. Do you know what molting is? It is the process in which animals cast their outermost layer of skin as they grow in size and reach the next level of their life cycle. Have you ever seen a butterfly that comes out of such a cocoon-like structure? It tears open the transparent layer and flies with its newly developed wings. This is nothing but the molting process. So hang on, is the butterfly also an arthropod? Yes, it is. Butterflies belong to the class of insects which are arthropods. So, animals right from the cockroach to the spiders, centipedes, beetles, ants, and even mosquitoes are included in the list of arthropods. This was about one of the largest phylum that we know. In the next video, we will move to the next interesting phylum, Mollusca.